Here's a fun little project I decided to do for my bathroom, and I thought I would share with you. So I took your everyday bread pan, as you see here. I had a couple extra lying around. If you don't, that's fine. They're relatively cheap. You can even get them at the Dollar Tree. And then I ordered off of Amazon a couple weeks ago a box of 1,000 wood beads with various sizes in them. Great purchase. I want to say it was like $14 or $15. And wood beads are huge right now in crafting, so you can use them for just a ton of different projects. So what I'm doing here is grouping them by 2, and we're stacking them by 2 to create the legs for our quote-unquote wash tub. Now you will see later in this video, I did end up having to pop them off and using E6000. Hot glue, I don't know why I was thinking that would stick long term. So I did pop them off and do some E6000 instead, but we'll continue on with where we're at. So my bathroom is blue. My walls are blue, and then the toilet and everything else is white, and then I have some pops of contrasting color with yellow using lemons. So I wanted my base color to be yellow on this piece. Because I am using a chalk paint for this, I will have to seal it. You guys can definitely use an acrylic paint for this base color, and then you won't have to worry about sealing it, but we are going to wet distress. So coming in with my polyacrylic, sealing this yellow, so that way when we add the white and we wet distress, the rag, the baby wipe, will not be removing that yellow color. It'll just remove the white on top. So we're just going to make sure that we get that well coated with polyacrylic. And here's where I popped off the little feet, and I'm regluing them with E6000. So that is a wait time to let them dry, but that's fine. So after a few hours, and they were stable enough to stand, I continued on. So now we're going to go back over with our white chalk paint. You won't be able to do wet distressing if you do use a acrylic for this, unless you wipe it off pretty much as soon as you brush it on. So at least for this top layer, I would definitely recommend using a chalk or mineral-based paint. And I'm not doing an entire coat. I'm not looking for perfection here. So there are going to be brush strokes that I missed with the white where that yellow is going to pop through, and that's fine because that's kind of going to be the look we're going for anyway. So now we're going to come in with our wet wipes. And I'm just going to wipe back that white paint just in certain areas, really concentrating on the edges and the corners, and then a little bit on the front and sides as well. Now I am using my stamps, and I spelled out the word wash. So because I do have blue on my walls, I am doing this in a blue color. It's almost like a navy. If you do have DIY paint, it is called Hay Sailor. And I do know that my letters are going to be a little too long for this little tub, so to speak, but that's okay. We're going to kind of fix it up and make it look pretty anyway. So I definitely have, as you can see, the top, a majority of the letters on there correctly. And now I'm going through with just some Q-tips and water, and I'm just kind of cleaning up the bottom a little bit, getting rid of some of that extra blue that may have smeared because the stamp went over the edge. And then I will take my paintbrush too with that Hay Sailor, and I will touch up the letters that I need to touch up. Now I'm going to take my sponge dabber that I used to put the paint onto my stamps, and I'm just going to kind of gently tap it across the whole piece. This is actually leaving little tiny speckles of blue kind of throughout the piece, which I really like. I did press a little too hard, as you can see here on the inside, so I did end up with some crescent-shaped heavy edges of blue. So as soon as I go over this with the blue and make all these little speckles, I'm going to go back through just with my paintbrush, and I'm just going to dry brush them white over those areas so that those little blue crescents aren't as pronounced. Not doing a full coat, just getting a little bit of white paint and just kind of dragging and dry brushing it across. And then once I'm happy with how it looks, we're going to go over it with polyacrylic. Now, because this is going to be in my restroom and you have the steam of the shower and whatnot, I did coat this with 2 coats of polyacrylic. I am going to make one of these actually for my kitchen as well. I'm not sure what the word is going to be on the front, but if you do use it in your kitchen, 1 coat of polyacrylic will be just fine. And here are some stills. This is what it looks like all finished. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to message me and I will answer them for you. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your day.